Eyes for You by the Rainbow Blunderbolt. Read for you by Astro, BRONY. Her mailbag weighing down on her a bit, Ditzy's flight path swerved off to the right. After a few harder wing accelerations, she managed to get back on the right mail route. With her eyes pointing in two directions at the same time, it was difficult to find her bearings when a mishap like this happened, but she managed, somehow. In times like these, she normally shook it off, but since this was the 5th time that day that she had almost crashed, she was starting to get worried. Who knows when that lucky crash would come, when she would be grounded, permanently. Ah, muffins. That could wait for another day. Right now, her mind was focused on the mail, or more specifically, her job. She was Ponyvale's local mail carrier. When she first got hired for the job, she really thought that her superiors were just getting a bit desperate by hiring the cross-eyed Pegasus. But she couldn't be happier either way. She had a job, and that was all that mattered. Speaking of that, she should really get back to work.
Mail to a Mr. Dr. Hooves. Funny name.
She giggled absent-mindedly as she kept reading the envelope.
Says he lives...
She was stopped by a hard thing that blocked her path, or rather, she flew into it, causing her to land on the ground with a large thud. "Hey!" she heard a voice snap. "Watch it!" What she didn't know was that even though she was flying, she was doing so relatively low to the ground. While she was doing that and her eyes pointed in two directions, literally she didn't see the brown Colt with an hourglass cutie mark right in front of her.
"Oh, I'm so sorry,"
she apologized rapidly.
"I didn't see you there."
The Colt turned around slowly with his eyes closed. "Oh, I suppose it's all right," and he stopped in dead sentence when he saw Ditzy for the first time, causing her to give him a strange look.
"What?"
she asked, or more, squeaked, her eyes darting around. "Your eyes," he blurted out.
"Yeah, what about them?"
she asked slowly, drawing out every word carefully. Her ears started to lie flat on her head, and the thought of getting scolded or looked at like a weirdo for her eyesight. Flashbacks started rampaging in her mind with words like, "Did you hit your head when you were a foal?" Or,
"Look in the same direction, children, and your eyes won't end up like that."
She braced herself for a sharp retort, when this Colt took her aback. "They're quite unique," he said with a goofy smile on his face. Her ears snapped up.
"You think so?"
she asked him, not sure how to react. "Quite. I've never seen anything like them. Also, they look cute on you," he assured.
"Gee, thanks. Oh, if you don't mind me asking, do you know Dr. Hooves fellow by any chance?"
Ditzy asked, standing up once again. "Oh, that would be me." The Colt smiled at her, a knowing look in his eyes.
"Oh, really? Well then."
She looked around and spied the white envelope on the ground. Hurriedly, she trotted over to it, picked it up in her mouth, and presented it to Dr. Hooves.
"Mail for Dr. Hooves."
Dr. Hooves smiled as he opened his mouth and grabbed it from her. "Thank you," he said through the paper. Putting it down, he looked at her once again. "I do believe you haven't told me your name yet. May I ask what it is?" he asked with a smile.
"Oh, I'm Ditzy Doo, but you can call me Ditzy,"
Ditzy replied happily. "Well then, Ditzy, would you like to come over to my house for some muffins sometime?" Dr. Hooves asked.
"Muffins?"
Ditzy squealed, her wings fluttering, lifting her a few feet off the ground. Then she realized what she was doing and blushed a bit.
"Oh, I'm so sorry. I really like muffins." "Yeah, that would be great. Thanks,"
she said sheepishly, rubbing her hoof behind her head in embarrassment. Just then, a sudden wind blew by, ever so gently lifting the envelope up into the air and carrying it off, much to the dismay of both Ditzy and the doctor. "Oh no!" Dr. Hooves and Ditzy cried at the same time. Ditzy then took the initiative and flew up in the air.
"I've got it,"
she assured as she rushed up and followed the breeze. As she was flying with a good steady pace, getting closer and closer to the envelope, she noticed that the blush was still on her face. She didn't know why, but there it was, making her gray face contrast with the red hue of her emotions. The only question was, what emotions were there? That she would have to focus on later. Right now, she needed to concentrate on getting what the wind stole back. With one more final push of her gray wings, she opened her hooves and grabbed the unopened mail. With a flash of pride in her crisscrossed eyes, she slowly glided back down, pushing the envelope down with her hoof. She waited with a smile for the Colt to catch up with her. "Thank you, Ditzy," he expressed as he took the envelope from her gratefully.
No problem. It's my job, to deliver mail and that kind of stuff,"
she said awkwardly, trying her best to be less socially awkward than she already was. "Well, you certainly are doing a fine job at it," he laughed with sincerity. Ditzy could feel herself blushing again, so she turned away quickly, waiting for the redness to leave her flustered face. "Are you okay?" he asked, raising a brow. Feeling the redness leaving her face, she turned to him once again.
"Yeah, I'm just fine."
Spying her mailbag once again, and noticing the many undelivered things crowding it, she said quickly, with a hint of regret in her voice,
"Well, I really should get going."
"Oh, not a problem at all. Thank you again, and have a nice day." He did something that totally caught her off guard. The Colt took a step forwards and gave her a quick kiss on the cheek, causing the redness to come back with a vengeance. "See you later, and that offer is always open whenever you're ready." He smiled as he walked away, leaving her with a shocked yet satisfied look on her face.
"Nothing,"
she mumbled dreamily, as she took to the air once again in sweet surrender. That was Eyes for You. Alright, every pony, I hope you all enjoyed that. This has been my first fanfiction reading, and I really quite enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy it as well. Tune in next week for another exciting fanfiction reading. Until then, this is Astro BRONY, signing out.